Okay, guys, I apologize in advance for this light right here. Because I'm charging my computer, there's no way for me to get rid of that fucking light. Um, because I can't move it too much. But anyways, I'm going to do another review of my revisiting cinema, and this one is Being John Malkovich. First off, let me start this review with I watched Adaptation for the first time about maybe a month ago, and then I watched his a few other Charlie Kaufman movies. Well, not a few other. I watched Eternal Sunshine right after that, so I became a fan of his instantly. But after revisiting another Spike Jonze movie, I have to say that I think Spike Jonze is a tremendous director because the scripts that he is given are extremely thick and complex, and you need to be a good director, especially when these movies don't have huge budgets. You need to be a spot on director to accomplish the things that they accomplished in Adaptation and especially in Being John Malkovich. But with that being said, I loved Being John Malkovich. I could not believe how weird and bizarre and fucking hilarious this movie was. I, I went in with pretty high expectations, surprisingly, because, like I said, I loved Adaptation, and then I loved the other things that I've seen of Charlie Kaufman's. But man, this one really was by far the funniest of them. The other ones had a bit more, straight line with them. There's a few comedic moments, but this one I would say is a full blown comedy, and a trippy ass movie at that. But I have to go. Obviously, there's never any spoilers, but the ending of this movie, the absolute ending, is just so fucking brilliantly written. I loved the ending. I was like, I really, really love this movie. And then the ending came, and I was like, fucking really loved it. It was just one of those powerful endings to a movie. But this movie is, I don't know what it is, but it's got me in this John Cusack. I started, let's see, I watched, what did I watch? Oh, I watched High Fidelity, and I reviewed High Fidelity. But after that, I was like, oh, okay, I really like John Cusack. That's what I said when I watched that. And then I watched this, and I was like, I fucking love John Cusack. And then I watched another John Cusack movie today that I'd never seen, Grosse Point Blank, which is going to be another review right after this. But it basically cemented me for having John Cusack as just one of my absolute, maybe not all of his movies I've seen are great, but the ones that I have seen that are great, I fucking love them. And this is absolutely one of them. He's brilliantly acted in this. He's just so goddamn creepy, but he's funny at the exact same time. And Catherine Keener, brilliant performance. She got nominated for an Oscar, well deserved. The writing for her characters was such a cold-hearted bitch, and that's what she was. But it was just, there's lines of dialogue that are so fucking weird in this movie that she has between her and Cameron Diaz that without two great performances, they would not come off strong. They would just be, again, awkward and weird. And I mean, they are, but they're believable, and that's because of great direction and great acting. And they had a really, really bizarre thing to work with here, and they just nailed it. And then Cameron Diaz, who, like, honestly, I think just because of her character, her hair, and everything that her character has, it makes her character so damn good. And you kind of forget that it's Cameron Diaz for a minute. I've had a bad taste in my mouth with her the last few years, but this one, reminded me of this innocent talent that she once was, and I just loved her in this movie. I thought she was great. But yeah, again, I think you can talk about John Malkovich because he is in the movie, but I would say he's like the least of the three, of the four. He's like the least prominent because he doesn't arrive for like an hour and 10 minutes into the movie anyways. But yeah, I mean, it's just brilliant writing and brilliant direction, and it's got me anticipating the next Spike Jonze movie, always anticipating the next Charlie Kaufman anything. whether it be the HBO series he's been talking about or his next movie. But this really got me into John Cusack. This guy had a brilliant stretch in his career, and this was one of the movies along with it. I loved being John Malkovich. It was hilarious and just very thought-provoking and just an ingenious script. I give it my highest 10 out of 10. I will be buying this on the Criterion Blu-ray. I loved it so much. Go see it if you haven't. If you have, leave a comment. Tell me, what you thought, what your favorite scene was. I'll tell you mine in the comments below because it's not a spoiler. My favorite scene is when the ending, but then there's a scene where he's doing his puppet show. And it's just, they're like fucking, kind of. They're puppets. But they're not in the same room, and this little girl's watching, and she's just staring at the puppet show. And then the dad slowly turns around and looks at it, and he just beats the shit out of John Cusack. And it was just so fucking funny, man. It's just another reason this movie's just so good. It was funny and creepy and everything in one. Go see it if you haven't. If you have, again, leave a comment. And give me a sub. Thank you.